ever play a game and think to yourself, I'm not going to remember this game in 6 months? That's unfortunately how I feel about Itty Bitty Dungeon Delve. Let's talk about it.
What does that even mean, Bowers Game Corner?
Ahoy there, YouTube! I'm back again today for another game review, another special Game Crafter Spotlight review. And this is a segment where I take a look at a different Game Crafter game every single month and do a series of videos on it, culminating with a review. And this is the review for Itty Bitty Dungeon Delve from Concrete Canoe Games, which, by the way, if you're interested in checking it out on Game Crafter, click on that link down below. This is a game in which you can play solo, or you can play against one other person in this micro game, are going to have a cavern in front of you, and then there will be a cavern in front of your opponent, and there'll be the area in the middle, which is like this other middle spot. I forgot the name of it, but it's going to be 4 cards as well. You'll have 4 cards here, 4 cards there, and 4 cards in the middle. Then you'll have the depths, which will be mysterious cards off to the right, a pile of them. And on your turn, you're going to flip over a card. You're going to do whatever that card says to do. Most of the time, it's going to tell you to swipe cards from here or there, or name something, or take something from the depths, or shuffle up your cards, and you do stuff like that. Do micro game style stuff. This feels like a micro game. If you want to see exactly how the game plays, there's a gameplay video over here or over there. I always forget which sides it pop up on. This is more of the review. So let's go over the pros. Let's go over the cons. Oh, but anywho, what you're trying to do, that's going to come, this is the smoking gun here, is you're trying to get to 70 points, or AKA level 5, if you're playing the more advanced version of the game, which I will talk about. So, pros, cons, let's get into it. First, on the pro side, it's a serviceable game. It's fine. You know, it's not fine. I don't think it's a good game. I'm going to start off by telling you my rating scale. My rating scale is 7, is good. 6, okay. 5, meh. I don't hand out many mehs. I think most games are good. In general, most of the games I play, I think are good. This one I did not. For a laundry list of reasons we'll get into in the cons, but this is the pros. Let's focus on the pros. First and foremost, the game is not broken. It's playable. You can read the rules. You can pretty much figure out how to play. I think there was like 1 or 2 things where I was like, I think we're doing this right, but I'm not quite sure. But once again, this is the pros. We're going to stay positive here. Artwork, also serviceable. There's some nice charm. I think there was like this gelatinous green cube, which was kind of cool. I like that one card. There's special abilities. There's an advanced mode of the game. So if you actually do like this game, if this is your cup of tea, then it's got a little bit more oomph. There's a solo mode. These has things that I like in games. I like all those things. I love solo games, or micro games. I love solo micro games even. Ooh, I love it. Any other pros that I have with it? Oh, the player reference card. Well, it's not really a player reference card. It's kind of. It has a list of all the cards in the game and how many points they're worth. And then on the back it has your character, which will give you asymmetric special abilities that you can have as you level up. It's well done. It's good. I wish it had... they couldn't fit all the information, but I wish it had all the information. But that's irrelevant. That's all I got on the pros. Because moving on to the cons, I really did not like Itty Bitty Dungeon Delve for a lot of reasons, which I'll get into. First and foremost, it felt just really long. It says it's 20 minutes on the box. Maybe if you were experts and you were playing rapid fire, you could get it out in 20 minutes, or maybe solo. Yeah, maybe solo. If you were an expert. So it's not that it's long, because I don't mind when games are long. I mean, I don't mind when games stretch out, when it feels like it's long. Like Terraforming Mars, I think it's a fantastic game. I think it stretches forever in some instances, but I still love the game. This one, however, I never was having fun at any point during the game. And I played this 2.5 times, 3 almost, but I'll talk more about that in a second. And never once was I like, man, that was a really cool, interesting decision I made. Or, oh, it's going to be hard. What should I do? It was just like, I'm going to do this, and I'll do that. And there's some forward planning, because you want to put caverns here and there, and you want to have a certain card for... There's like one special card, and you play it changes the end round scoring. But it drags, and the gameplay loop is very samey, and it's not very interesting, in my opinion, and it's just, I didn't have fun. And this is one of the issues I have with it, is I love micro games, but I think part of the problem was there's not that many interesting cards in here, and there's not that many cards in here, period. And so you just see the same cards over and over and over. And yeah, there's the depths where it's like, oh, you're not playing with these cards this game. But I cared so little about nearly all the cards that it was just, And I do also want to mention this, and this is why I love doing the Thoughts from the Corner segment, is that the other 2 people that I played this with, 2 separate games, didn't have fun with it either. they were like, yeah, I'm cool never playing that again. And I feel that same way as well. So it was long, and it wasn't just long, but the gameplay wasn't fun or really... fun is the right word, because that's subjective. I didn't feel like anybody's going to find the decisions you're making that interesting. And the antidote that I have for that, anecdotal evidence, I guess you'd call it, is I played it with my 8-year-old, Sean. And I shoot tons of videos with Sean. He's at the age, both my kids are, where they're just excited to be on the table. They're just, so 99% of the games, they're like, yeah, that was great, that was fun, that was awesome. And I really have to probe and be like, did you really like it? This one, Sean was like, yeah, I don't know. Can we finish? Can we be done? That's because it stretched out. It kept stretching out. And one of the weirdest and poorest choices, I think, in this game, and this is another comment I have with it, is the scoring. And part of the reason why the game can take so long is it doesn't just reward you for having the best cavern. So you score at the end of every round, and there's a clever way they keep track of, when the round is over, even though I think that even stretches out too long. Yeah, there's 4 cards in the cavern, and then you turn each one, and then after you've turned the 4th card, the round's over, right? No, actually, it's not. You play one more round, and then that round's over. It's like, well, why the extra round? I honestly think if you got rid of that one, it would speed up everything. I think that'd be a great house rule if you're interested in this game. But it's a different talk. But so you score each round. And if you have the best cavern, or the most points in your cavern, you get those points, but then you also get 5 bonus points. You're like, yeah, that's great, Bauer. But then, if you have the lowest cavern, you lose 5 points. And then, so that just slows down the game. It's like, well, why can't we just reward you for being good instead of punish you for sucking? Because punish you for sucking, assuming that it's an evenly matched game, means that, it's going to go back and forth, and it's just, you're taking away 5 to 10 points that you don't need to take away. Like, take them away. I know, like, honestly, with how long it takes to score 70 points this game, I don't know if you should take away points in any way, shape, or form. Now, advanced version. I did mention the advanced a little bit in the pros. I still didn't have fun playing the advanced version of the game, but it is more interesting because as you get to 3 different levels, you're going to gain extra asymmetrical abilities, which in theory kind of speed up the game. I guess they kind of do. I didn't feel it. It still felt really long. Another con, the rules. They're serviceable. I think there was like 1 or 2 things where it's like, I think we're doing this right. And when your game rules are this short, you gotta nail them, I think. Like, there can't be any room for I thinks. Because the more I thinks you get, the more I thinks you just, I don't like that. So, any other cons that I have with Itty Bitty Dungeon Delve? Not really. I think I hammered on it enough. In the end, it's not a game for me. It's not a game that I could recommend to anyone. Oh, the solo. The solo is more of the same. It's just instead of the person picking the card, it's just like, it's just the top card of the thing, and then but it's the same game. It's the same cards. It's just more of the same. And the same, I didn't feel like was that riveting. And quite honestly, I have a hard time envisioning myself playing this game with someone and then be like, oh my gosh, that is so awesome. Can I have this game? Or I know that sounds weird to be like, well, why would someone possibly have? Because I'm a reviewer and I give away, after I get done with games, I'm like, would you want this game? I ask that quite frequently. I don't know why it's a non sequitur, but it goes back to the point of this game. I have a hard time seeing who this game is for. And I think if it had more diverse cards, which once again, that's the nature of the beast with a micro game. You only have a certain number of cards you can fit in here, but if there were more cards, if there were, say, double cards, and those 16 cards were slightly more interesting than these cards, I think that would add legs to the game. Maybe if those cards also bumped up the scoring a little bit more, that'd be spectacular as well. But in the end, Itty Bitty Dungeon Delve, not one I can recommend. But if you enjoyed this review, please be sure to click on that subscribe button down below. Also, if you've ever had dreams, aspirations of making yourself a game, I'm not even BSing you. This is a Game Crafter. So I'm gonna break the 4th wall right now and say, this was a paid review. Oh my gosh, you can't get paid for reviews, Bauer. I say, well, I'm still going to be honest in a paid review, because that's what I do. But I am going to tell you right now, honestly, the Game Crafter is the place you need to go if you're thinking about ever making a game. It's spectacular. Now, the last time I used it was like 7 years ago, and it was spectacular back then. But in those 7 years, they've got different box sizes, they've got different components, they can do punch-out things. Pretty sure they do 3D printing little models and stuff. They do all sorts of insane stuff. Like, every time I get a Game Crafter game, I'm just like, wait. This is looking more like a real game. Yeah, I got like this right here. Look at this. Look at this. You saw this on a game shelf. Would you think twice? Would you think twice about this box? And this is a prototype. Well, it could be for you. You go check out thegamecrafter.com. They should give me a promo code. You know what? I'm going to talk to him about a promo code. 1% off. That's all I'm asking. Is that too much to ask? But for real, you need to check them out. They're spectacular. And they sponsor the channel, which is amazing. And if you want to help out the channel, click on something, like something, leave a comment. It all helps. But in the end, thanks for your time, YouTube.